it's Michelle with Pink and Main. I thought I'd do a quick video to go over the homework for our card class. Sometimes it's a little easier to visualize what you need to do versus reading it and figuring it out. First thing we're going to need is 2 rectangles. I've used the Pink and Main stitched rectangles set 1 and set 2 for these. They layer together nicely, and I love that stitched edge around them. It just gives a nice finished look, but you can use your paper trimmer or any dies that you have on hand. One rectangle is 4 inches by 5 1/4. The second one layers on top of that, and it's 3 3/4 by 5 inches. In your kit, we've given you an 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 inch piece of our double-sided adhesive sheets. You're going to add that to half of one of your pieces of white cardstock. So you're just going to remove the release paper and stick that to half of the white cardstock. Once you have that adhesive sheet on your white cardstock, you're going to take the party hat die along with the top piece of the hat, and you're going to cut those out with the adhesive on the top. So you put the die down against the adhesive sheet of the paper. And you need 1 hat and 1 of the little toppers. Here I have mine cut out and ready to go. To keep the party hat together, I've added some temporary tape to the back just to hold it all together. Not necessary. We're going to be doing something separate to the hat and the dots that decorate the hat. Your card base is a top folding A2 size card base. We're just going to leave that plain for right now. The last part of the homework for card number 1 is you're going to cut 2 rectangles of white cardstock. We want to ink blend a nice dark blue and a lime green on them. So one piece you need a blue and one piece you need a lime green. From the lime green, you're going to cut out the shadow piece of the word cheers. And from the blue piece, you're going to cut out the word cheers. So basically we are making our own colored cardstock by ink blending on these 2 pieces. And the pieces of paper just need to be big enough to cut out the word cheers and the shadow piece. Now let's talk about what we need to do to prep for card number 2. For card number 2, we have 2 white card bases. They're both top folding. You're going to leave one as is. The second card base is going to be slightly smaller than the first one. And how you do that is on one side here, you're going to cut 1/4 inch off the side. And you see the open bottom here? You're going to cut 1/4 inch off the bottom. And then when you open it up, we're going to add an extra score line here on this flap. And it's going to be in the middle. So since this is 5 1/4, you're going to score this at 2 5/8. That's how we're going to prepare our card bases. Next, from a piece of your white cardstock, you're going to cut a 3 inch circle. So you could use a punch. It's approximately 3 inches. If it's a little smaller or a little larger, that's okay. I have used our zigzag circle dies, and it just creates this fun pinking edge, or a little zigzag edge around it. But a plain circle will work perfectly fine. The next thing you're going to need is a piece of cardstock cut with the adhesive sheet on it. So remember, we added the adhesive sheet to half of our piece of white cardstock in the prep work for card number 1. Well, you're going to take that piece that has the adhesive sheet on it, and it's hard to tell here, but this piece does have adhesive sheet on one side. I can peel the release paper back if I need to, and we'll do that later. But you're going to need a piece of cardstock with the adhesive sheet on it, and this is going to be 3 3/4 by 2 3/8. And that's white cardstock with the adhesive sheet adhered to one side of it. Next, you're going to need a piece of plain white cardstock, just plain paper. We're going to ink blend that nice blue on this piece. And it's about 2 1/2 by 2 1/2 inches square. Approximately that size, and you're just going to ink blend some blue ink on it. The last part of the homework for card number 2 is we're going to use the stamp set, and you're going to stamp the ice cream cone in a light tan. You're going to stamp your ice cream in a purple or lavender, whichever you prefer. And then you're going to stamp the topping to the ice cream in a bright pink. And you're going to die cut those out with the dies that come in your kit. And then we're going to stamp 4 colors of stars. So I have purple, pink, orange, and light green. And you're going to die cut those out as well. Now we're ready to prep for card number 3, folding A2 size card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We're not going to do anything to the card base just yet. We're going to leave it as is. This time you're going to need 1 rectangle cut. We want this 4 inches by 5 1/4. Again, I've used the Pink & Main Stitched Rectangles Set 2 for this piece, but you can use your paper trimmer or any die that you have on hand that will cut a rectangle 4 inches by 5 1/4. And that's out of the white cardstock. We're going to need another 3-inch circle for this card. Again, I've used the Pink & Main Zigzag circle die, but you can use a punch or die that you have on hand. A plain circle will work just fine. You're going to pull out that white cardstock that has the adhesive sheet on it, and we want to cut 1 inch by 3 1/2 inches. And I've just taken my scissors and cut a little flag end on one end. And our last bit of prep for card number 3 is we're going to pull the stamp set out and do some stamping, and you're going to die cut them as well. You're going to stamp the cupcake top with a light tan ink and die cut it out. You're going to stamp the topping for the cupcake in a bright pink and cut it out. We've got the cupcake wrapper stamped in teal, and we've die cut that out. And then you're going to stamp the cherry in bright pink and die cut it out, and the stem to the cherry in a lime green and die cut that out. I have used Pink & Main inks for my stamping, but if you have colors that will match, that's perfectly fine. I do apologize, our inks were supposed to be in a couple of months ago, but there has been delays from the manufacturers and it's just out of our hands. But again, if you have colors that match these, you'll be perfectly fine. So thanks for taking a little bit of time to work on your homework for our 3 cards. I can't wait for our class. We're going to make some really fun, cheerful birthday themed cards. We'll see you soon. And until then, keep living the creative life.